Started. Um, First and foremost, I want to apologize. There's a lot of noise out there doing some construction. Also, I'm not feeling the best right now, so I'm a little under the weather. So please excuse me. But anyways, let's get started with the episode. Okay. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. And every Saturday, I do YouTube lives on relationships, relationship coaching. And today's topic, I'll be talking about, will she ever remember you again? So the reason why I kind of want to bring up this topic is because I've noticed that a lot of my clientels, they like to ask me questions like, oh, is she ever gonna ever come back? And if she does, how long would it take? And already, that the first thing I ever always tell them is already that's the wrong mindset. It's usually because if you were the one that got dumped, you're not the one with the position of leverage. That being said, how do you regain that again? How do you become the more masculine guy so that you can reattract your ex and other people? That's the right mentality. So anyways, let's get started with the recap episode of She Should Be Your Compliment, Not the Center of Your Life. And the slide is on Coach Corey Wayne. Shout out to Coach. Learned a lot from you. Still learning a lot to this day. If you guys haven't already, I highly suggest you guys get the book, How to Be a 3% Man. That book changed my life, all right? All right. And the door is open too, so I'm cold, I'm not feeling well, but I'm here, okay? So let's talk about masculine energy. Masculine energy is about purpose. Well, this is the quote from Coach. Masculine energy is about purpose, drive, mission, succeeding, accomplishing, achieving goals, breaking through barriers, etc. Feminine energy is about opening up to receive love, bonding, connection, etc. In order to maintain the sexual polarity in a relationship, a man... Hold on. Okay. In order to maintain the sexual polarity in a relationship, a man needs to focus on one thing that makes a man a man. Okay, so his woman, his lady... What's up, War? What's going on, man? So his woman will feel safe and comfortable enough. Yo, I'm from India. Nice. What got you in here today? You just scrolling? Are you just scrolling? Let's see. So his woman feels safe and comfortable enough to stay in her feminine, okay, and let him lead the relationship. That is very, very important. If you stop becoming a man in the relationship or do things that makes a man, she is going to be in her masculine, okay? So if he fails to be the leader, it forces her to move into her masculine to make up for his weakness. That's just the reality. She will resent this and become bitchy and become more distant. This destroys sexual polarity and creates unnecessary drama. Time in country, India, it is at night. It is 12 p.m. right now. 12:05 p.m. And I'm here trying to teach people about relationships. So if you got the time, this is a place to learn, okay? Topic, the meat of the topic now. So let's get started. Will she ever remember you again? Will she ever remember you again? Okay. And this after she broke up with you, things like that. Or maybe you broke up with her and you made a mistake. Whatever it is, usually it's the guy that gets dumped. Most men get dumped by women. The guy's usually pretty chill about things. It's usually an unattractive behavior that causes her to want to leave. So now let's talk about it. Self-perception. Oh, all right. Self-perception. Why self-perception and self-respect is so important in a relationship. So if you feel like you're unworthy, things you do, the things you say, your demeanor will be all in your behaviors, right? So now if she left you in a position where she wanted to leave because you were acting unattractive. What's up, man? If you were acting unattractive, then there's most likely... it's pretty guaranteed that she's not going to come back if you act very unattractive and you constantly show or display the lack of leadership, the lack of confidence. And look, I get it. Things happen to us. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. We hit a bump on the road. Things don't really go the way we want it. Perfect. If you're 16, man, I wish I had this information when I was 16. Excuse the noise, okay? There's a lot going on right now. But if you act unattractive, she's going to treat you like a bitch. That's just the bottom line, okay? So you have to act in ways that is more masculine so that it causes her to want to stay with you. Now, there's almost a guarantee that she is not going to come back if you act unattractive. And even if she does come back, she doesn't come back to anyone better. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say you're 16 years old, right? You broke up and you acted very unattractive, or even 32, double that age, and you acted unattractive and she left, and then now she came back. Maybe it took her 3 months, maybe it took her 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2 weeks, who knows? Now, when all that happens, your job as a guy is to become your most attractive self again, so that you could attract everybody back into your life. You don't need to have a girlfriend to be prepared for this situation. I would actually highly suggest that you, right now, since you don't have one, perfect time to really kind of like nail it down. What's up, Crystal? Oh shit. It's not good. Excuse me. Okay. I need a little bit of caffeine. The door's open. I have the heater on. The construction's out. I'm still here. All right. So you act unattractive. You act like a bitch. She's going to treat you like a bitch. You have an AI girlfriend. All right. So what you want is when she does come back, or if she does come back, you're a different person. You're no longer the same person that caused her to leave you in the beginning. Now, even if she does come back, chances are she didn't find anyone better. Now, think about it. We, as humans, we like to focus on things that are in our favor. You know what I mean? Like, as long as if you have a position of leverage, are you willing to give that up? Most likely, the answer is no. So if that's the case, if she found someone good that treats her well, that loves her, that's more manly than you know what, manly, that acts more masculine, that understands women, she's not gonna want to leave him. Now, chances are she's coming back to you because she didn't find anyone better. Now, if she comes back and you didn't change, what do you think is gonna happen again? History's gonna repeat itself. She's gonna leave you. You're gonna be like, oh my God, why? And then you just blame women, right? And that's not the case over here. You're learning to become a better person. So that's how a human behaves. We don't leave people we're head over heels in love with. We don't. We leave them because we're no longer attracted to them. Now, if you remember this one thing, people don't always remember what you say, but people will always remember how you made them feel. Now imagine this. Imagine that you were the best boyfriend you ever. What's up, Bree? Welcome. You were the best boyfriend. Okay? Best as in you treated her nice. You were a confident guy. You're not a pushover, but you're confident. You're nice. You're in your center most of the time because, you know, there are some days. And you acted in ways that are more masculine. Number one, she is not going to want to leave a guy like that because you have to be a fool to leave a guy that's treating you right, that makes you feel good. You're getting a cold. I have a cold. I'm struggling over here, but I'm here. Okay. So there's not a lot of good men like that out there. And it takes time, just like it takes time to build yourself in a gym. And the same thing goes, like, look, your six pack is built in the kitchen, basically. It's 70 to 80% of what you eat. So what does it also mean? It means that your relationship also needs to be nourished. You have to focus. Happy Christmas. Thank you. No, it ain't. Explain to me. Now, number 2. Will she ever remember you? That's the main question, right? She would definitely remember you. If you were this guy, you gotta do sit-ups. Oh yeah, that too. I mean, you gotta build that muscles, right? 70-80%. You tell me you could eat a whole ass pizza that's like 4,000 calories when your daily intake is supposed to be 2,000, and you show me your six-pack with sit-ups, okay? You show me that. So she would definitely remember you, and it's not your job to get her back. So that's the number one most important thing, is that a lot of people feel like, oh, I need to get my girlfriend back. I need to get my boyfriend back. How do I get him back? And also they have this mindset of like, well, I want them to feel like they regret it. Like, that's not love if you think about it. Love is allowing. It's allowing them to come and go as they please. So if you think about it in this perspective, they don't want you. You acted unattractive, and I have in my past. And they wanted to leave. By all means, they could leave. I have to reflect on that and be like, well, what am I doing wrong as a person? What am I doing wrong as the guy that is causing her to want to be more distant, more cold? Yeah, you can't have that attitude. But I understand what you mean if you're upset and things don't go your way. So, like I said, if she decides to come back, she's coming back to someone that's better, more improved version of you. It's a win-win. You win regardless. You're taking care of your health. You focus on your physical body, your mental. And then when those are aligned, and when your values are aligned, your spiritual, how you connect with yourself, both your mind, spiritually, you're gonna be way more aligned. You go for the things that you want. That is very, very attractive to a woman. You go for what you want and you don't stop. That is what's attractive to a woman. Like, if I wanted to be the best fucking janitor in the world, I'm like, look, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna figure out a way to clean so freaking good. Like, there's on TikTok, there's plenty of people that cleans, and there's surprisingly, what's that word I'm thinking about? It's satisfying. It's to see all this being done, being clean, right? So now, most men live lives of quiet desperation. Most men, they don't go for what they want. Most of them, they're like, you know what? Back to the same old shit again. I gotta go back to work, to a place I don't like, leave to get a paycheck so that I could go back home to a woman that don't love you, that nags, that you don't understand. And most men, they live like this continuously, and they don't know why. And then they eventually they break down. Why not go for what you want? But most people live lives of quiet desperation anyways. So anyways, it is our job as a man to be our best selves. That way you share your best version with the person you're with. So you're there to share each other's completeness, not to complete each other, okay? If you want to hear that again, rewind. So a masculine man knows what he wants and goes after what he wants. How he feels and what he thinks is congruent. And that's how she's able to trust you. If you say one thing and you go after it regardless, because that's your emotionally compelling reason to wake up and live and do your things that you have to do every single day. And that requires a lot of discipline. You might have some motivation, and that's a benefit. But not a lot of people have like that discipline. They rely on motivation, which is eventually you're gonna burn out. Okay. All right. So number 2, the feeling of inadequacy. Hold on. I feel like I need to blow my nose every slide. Give me a sec. Okay, great. I'm back. The feeling of inadequacy. Feeling of inadequacy. Chicken sandwich. Don't you wish McChickens was $1 again? All right. The feeling of inadequacy. This is one of our most primary fears. The other one is fear of not being loved, or not knowing how to love, and become overly possessive and things like that. But let's talk about the feeling of inadequacy. One of our primary fears, and no amount of money or things you own could cure this type of feeling that you have. Now, a lot of people, I know that some of my friends, they rely on their bank account revealing their worth. I'm like, so what happens when you're broke? What happens when you're broke? When you got no money? Then what? So a lot of it is internal. Okay, external objects and things that you have or that you own is not a solution to your feeling of inadequacy. Finding the root why you feel that way, of why did you feel, that's what's going to cure it. Okay, so I would suggest maybe talk to a therapist. Now, anyways, negative behaviors is driven by internal base feelings, but a lot of men are unwilling to be vulnerable because they see that as a weakness. Hey yo, if I talk about my feelings, I'm gonna be considered this. Like, there's a time and place for it. You have to understand. You don't want to ever treat your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, like she's your mommy and she's your therapist. She is not any of those. Quickest way to get her thing dry is to dump everything on her and have her try to figure it out for you. What does that say? It shows the lack of leadership. You're not confident and you don't know how to build yourself back up. Now, like I said, as a guy, things happen and we get into like those little bumps on the road and shit happens. Eventually, you got to figure it out. Go talk to your boys about it, but don't nag your woman about why things aren't going the way that it's supposed to because you couldn't figure it out, okay? That's just the way it goes. If you don't like it, you know, you can have a sex change or, you know, do something else. But this is masculine energy. You got to figure it out. You have to find solutions. To not come back. You come back because you know this is worthy of you. Set war. All right, so ignore all those external objects. Now, here's a solution. How to overcome the feeling of inadequacy. If you feel like you're not worthy enough, well, number one, the most important thing that you can do is to build skills and build some sort of expertise. What are you good at? What are you not good at and that you want to become good at? If you are feeling inadequate on a specific task or a particular task, take the time to really build the skill. Over time, you'll feel more competent. You get a little bit better. No one's good at everything when it's first started. And so try not to beat yourself up for not knowing something that's brand new to you. You know what I mean? Just take it easy. It takes time. Like, there are some people that understand movement a little bit better. Let's just say, for example, when I started dancing, my feet, I like to move my feet. I had rhythm. I just didn't know what to do. Okay. So it did make it a little bit easier and it was more fun. So that's why I was like, wow, this is nice. I could continue doing this. Let's see how it, like I'm always constantly building on top of that and seeing what new things I can do. Okay. So build a certain skill. Same thing for relationships. I didn't know what the hell I was doing until I started reading the book, How to Be a 3% Man. And it started telling me, look, Mitchell, you fucked up here. Like, as I was reading the book, light bulbs went off. Light bulbs. And these light bulbs were not... And one thing I really appreciate about my coach is the fact that it's not that he was upset about women. You know what I mean? He was more upset that he didn't know at the time. We just want him to support us. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody wants someone perfect. I don't think perfect is... I mean, it depends on what perfect means to you, right? But it's just understanding. Just understanding. Look, I know it. My girl, when she gets upset, I'm like, baby, you hungry? You hungry again? Okay, is it something that I did? What's going on? What's on your mind? Talk to me. Don't leave anything out. Talk to me. What's bothering you? I don't want to talk about it. Are you sure? You want to talk about it over some mango desserts? Some bingsu? What do you want? Let's go get it. Let's get your mind off of some things. And most of the time, women typically they're in their emotions a little bit more, and you have to understand that. You have to understand that woman, feminine energy, is more chaotic. She makes small problems into big ones, and when I understand that as a guy, it's actually very relieving because I know the small ass problem is thrown out of proportion, but it's not gonna phase me. And if it does, I become more feminine, which ruins sexual polarity, and I don't want to do that. That is why constantly Woman that's in love with you will want your attention all the fucking time. She will want your attention all the time. And it's kind of like to a point where you're like, damn, it's actually a good problem, because most guys, they don't get enough action in the bedroom. They have to beg their girlfriends. You know what I mean? But if you do everything right, she's going to want it more than you do as the guy. So, all right. And for the 16-year-old, give yourself a couple years, right? Read that book. Now, number 2, building a growth mindset. A growth mindset is when we believe we have the ability to grow and improve. This mindset helps us more easily overcome skill deficits. We know we can improve, so we put more effort into improving ourselves. Now, if you're building your skill, you're building your growth mindset, or you're building on this growth mindset, you only become better and better and better. Now, with your mindset, it really depends on how you want your mindset, because there are certain people that is driven by motivation and revenge, and they stay at that place. That's going to be a little bit rocky. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little bit rocky for you. Now, you still get quality dates. You still get some people, and you're going to hook up with a lot of women. But that being said, you're never really going to be able to connect with yourself and the other person if everything is driven by revenge. And so that's why I really like Coach. He teaches you to understand, like, hey, look, shit's your fault. You caused most of it, but there are certain things that you can't control. And one of the things is that, well, maybe she's a liar and a cheater, and you can't control that. And that's not on you, but how are you going to spot that the next time someone comes into your life? How do you spot a cheater? How do you spot somebody that is, bro, I don't want to marry. And marriage is not for everybody. So you're 16, so give it some time. Dale Carnegie said, inaction breeds fear and doubt. Taking action breeds confidence and courage. So what does it mean? It means that you're supposed to build on taking action. The only way to become better is by taking action. And I will highly suggest, really be careful. There are certain people that talks a lot that don't do a goddamn thing about what they say they're going to do in their life. So they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make hella money, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna build my own empire. All right, cool. Where's your empire? It's been 3 years. What are you doing? How are you doing it? Is it written down on a sheet of paper? Like what? Nothing. Okay, so be careful with those type of people. And also, competence is what leads to having confidence. Now, also, I do want to, there's a caveat, which is be careful with certain people that are overly confident, but don't know any type of skills. Okay, they know a little bit and they speak more than they do. So it sounds like what's up, Kim? And so people that has very, very little skills, that talks a lot like they know everything that they're talking about, aka the Dunning-Kruger effect. Be careful with those certain people, because those are certain people that dominates a lot of conversations without really offering ideas on solutions. Long time no see. I haven't been. It's Mitchell, but thank you. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about you? If marriage is having. All right, now I think we're on slide number 3. All right, cool. Slide number 3 is women want a man she feels that she deserves her, or he deserves her. Sorry, woman wants a man she feels that he deserves her, meaning that he doesn't put her on a pedestal. Woman wants a man that doesn't feel like she's being put on a pedestal. Okay, being that nowadays a lot of social media, okay, a lot of social media has given a lot of access to a lot of men excuse me, simping over women constantly, boosting up her egos, which leads to men thinking that it is okay to do things like that. Oh, it's okay for me to like her post and leave a little comment. That doesn't do any harm, especially if you're in a committed relationship. Like, what do you think you're doing? Now it's so hard to find a perfect one. So it's really not so much about finding the perfect one, it's attracting the perfect one. If I were to ask you, show me a list, write down the qualities of this guy, in this case, that you want. What kind of qualities does he possess? What kind of qualities do you have? And do you guys have similar goals and similar values? That is what's important, okay? Now, all of this, the simping, it does not put you in a position of leverage. She wants to know you are worthy and that you don't treat her any more special because of how you perceive her. Say, for example, a lot of guys would just look at a girl and be like, oh my God, she got a nice body. She's beautiful. She got a beautiful smile. I'm in love. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. You don't know a damn thing about her. Be careful. Okay? And that's because you're thinking with the other head, not the one on top. So, is this loud to you guys? Because I'm a YouTuber gamer. It's loud. Hopefully you can hear me though. Okay, now, because she seeks someone, who embodies the quality a little bit, that embodies the quality she values and she respects. Okay, this means that she wants someone who is worthy of her love, that's worthy of her affection, and who treats her with kindness and respect. If she encounters someone questioning his own beliefs, like, damn, she's too good for me. Oh my God, I don't deserve her. He doesn't really believe that he has what it takes to keep the relationship together. Oh God. There's a lot of dust. Okay. Oh God, sawdust. Sorry guys. Okay. This is the type of insecurity that can create a lot of negative behaviors that causes or does more damage in the relationship. Essentially, the person compensates. Okay, he compensates if he believes that she is too good for him. I don't deserve her. She's the best thing that has ever happened to me. Puts her on a pedestal. Well, guess what? He's going to have these type of behavior that's going to cause more damage in a relationship. So for example, the person compensates for the feeling or for these type of feelings by adopting behaviors he thinks that will address them. Here's an example, okay? So for example, if he feels like, damn, I don't deserve her, she's too good for me, you know what if another guy comes in? What if another guy comes in and swoops her up? Shit, I could lose her in a minute, in an instant. Damn. So then he will make more extra effort to ensure that she isn't cheating on him by doing such things as, like, well, he may prevent her from meeting other men or limit her social life. He may become more jealous easily. These type of behaviors does not address the problems, which is the overriding feeling of inadequacy and a lack of confidence. So remember, going back to what Dale Carnegie says, inaction breeds fear and doubt. Taking action breeds confidence and courage. So if you feel like you're not good enough, you got to do something about it. Massive action. And if you lack confidence, well, how do you get confidence? By becoming more competent, by trying new things out. So if you're not good at certain things, it's okay. Try it out. Now, oh shit. All right. Lastly, I think I'm just gonna try to end it in like somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Okay. All right. Knowing your worth. Okay. And I want to talk about this is an epidemic of this quote unquote "you're enough," but I'll get to that later. Drink some ginger tea. I've been drinking hella tea. Bro, in USA rule more than India because I don't know any rule. Women respond the same way. It doesn't matter where you're from, what culture. Maybe there's like different type of religious beliefs and some cultural differences, but women responds the same way. It doesn't matter if you're in the West, in the East. It doesn't matter. So they respond. They number one most attractive thing to a woman is your confidence. And if you don't have any type of confidence, she's not gonna want to be around you because you lack the role of leadership. Okay, so knowing your worth, you need to, number one, you have to know your worth. But let's explain worth. Worth is here's the definition. Worth is equivalent in value to the sum or item specific. Now, what does it mean? It means that, well, worth is what you're willing to put into yourself. What kind of action you're gonna put in for yourself. So if you're saying, oh, I'm worth this, I'm worth that, but then when we look at you, we're like, well, what have you done for yourself to build yourself up as a quality person? What can you offer? And if you're saying like, damn, I got money though, okay, that's cool. You know, not a lot of people have a lot of money, but that's great. What kind of qualities do you have? And women, they're not looking for one thing that you're good at. They're looking for this, what's that? Not like the jack of all trades. I can't think right now for some reason, but they're looking for the quality that you possess: understanding emotional self-control, being a man, doing things that what a man would do, more masculine, understanding how a relationship works, learning how to open her up when she feels down, things like that. And those are some examples, okay? And this is how you build your worth. And not just her, but for anybody that comes into your life. So worth is what you're willing to put in. So the next question is for yourself is, what do people value? What do other people value? Is that my cat now? Yeah, she's found. What do people value? What do they value? And is that value aligned with yours? That is very important, okay? Is taking care of yourself mentally, taking care of yourself physically, and taking care of yourself spiritually valuable, okay? And if your action is basically saying no, you're like, damn, I take care of my body, but you look like shit, okay? You're like this many percentage from being overweight or being obese. What are you really doing for yourself? So you gotta take action by taking care of yourself. What makes him stand out from every other guy? Yep, exactly. Because look, 9 out of 10 guys will over pursue. Say for example, 10 guys is trying to holler at you, all right, Crystal? He's trying to talk to you. 10 guys. Most of them is going to blow up your phone. Maybe you're in a dating app and they're constantly texting you. You went from dating app to text message. You gave him a chance because you found him physically attractive, and he's blowing up your phone. He's not really setting dates. He's not doing anything to build your interest. If anything, he's not doing anything to build any type of mystery. Like already, if you're in a dating app, you're looking for a date or a hookup, whatever, right? That's another story on its own. But if you got 10 guys, most of them are going to act in ways that's going to, even if you had interest in him, he's gonna talk himself out of you liking him. So most of the time, you just gotta sit back and take it easy. And that's why I encourage guys to be like, look, if you have other quality dates lined up and you're not exclusive with anybody, you're not in a committed relationship, then you should absolutely have more dates. One, because you're not going to act desperate. You're not going to be like, damn, she's the only one. I need to wait for. It's like if you have 3-4 quality dates lined up, you're going to be like, all right, well, let's see what happens with girl number 1 and girl number 2. Okay. Have them lined up. And then you're not going to act as desperate. You're not going to be as needy. You're not going to be as clingy. You're going to be, and you got your purpose and if you're a quality guy that understands women, you're not going to have a problem getting women. Like you're going to have more women trying to come on to you than anything else. Excuse me. So action. Okay. Action. Now let's talk about the problem with you're enough. Let me turn on this heater. Okay. I'm in this constant dilemma of being too hot and cold, literally. All right, so problem with the you're enough is due to the misinterpretation or being misused, okay? Because the problem with You're Enough is, and I could see the qualities of You're Enough. If you're down and you have zero hope, you're apathetic, you're like, what's the point of life? Then having someone tell you that you're enough, that you don't need to become more, is more beneficial than doing nothing about it. Okay? But you can't stay there. There's a time where you're gonna grieve, and there's a time where you're gonna have some fear, and you might even become a little angry about it. And behind anger is always fear. And so if you're in that situation, you're enough. You don't need him. You don't need this. Okay, it makes you feel better. But then the misuse or the misinterpretation now becomes, well, I don't really need to do anything. It's suggesting that you got to stop striving to improve yourself, or you don't have to improve yourself as much. You just got to do a little bit. Okay. Or that they're inherently complete without any type of change or any type of growth. It's like, no, you still have to do something about it. You still have to become more. Yes, you do. Okay. Now, number 2 is it's causing potential for a certain type of stagnation in your life. You don't want stagnation in your life. Okay. Although self-acceptance is very important, and I would even say it's crucial in your life, the idea of this whole being enough as a final destination, though, a lot of people get this mixed up as, oh, I'm enough, I don't need to do anything. A right person will walk into your life. It's like, absolutely not. You still have to do more. I get it. You're in a rut right now. Take a week, take a month, but eventually get back. Become more. Okay. Now, this whole final destination potentially hinders personal development and growth. Okay. And may also lead to a false sense of security. This idea of I'm enough might lead to a false sense of security, of being complacent, and potentially hindering the pursuit of personal goals and aspiration. So it might, in other words, all 3 of those. Okay. It's like saying you're enough. You don't need to become any more. Remember when we were in, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in middle school, people were like, damn, Mitchell, I was in middle school, and, we signed the back of the yearbook, and everyone was like, damn, you're funny, blah, 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 little jokester. Excuse me. You clown. Class clown. I was a class clown, right? Excuse me. I was a class clown, and they were like, oh, yeah, like, don't change. Don't ever change. And, I took it like a grain of salt. But I still made it like, I was like, well, if I don't change and I don't become better, it's gonna suck. And so I never really took that type of advice to heart. There is some truth to most of the things that people do say sometimes, but you always need to improve yourself. You always got to work on yourself. It builds your confidence. I have a friend, she's working, she never worked out, and now she's working out more consistently. Doing a lot of steps, walking a lot, stairmasters, incline walking, elliptical when all the other equipment's being used. She's walking, she's doing things, she's eating better, and she's starting to notice differences in her body. It's starting to change. She feels better about herself. She feels better now in her mid-30s, or not mid-30s, in her 30s, than she ever did in her 20s. And it's all because of a certain change. And in the beginning, she was like, Mitchell, like, I didn't understand why people want to work out so freaking much. And then now it's like, wow, I'm starting to see a lot of changes. People are starting to notice me, things like that. Not that she's seeking it, but it feels good that other people is giving her a certain type of attention. She's in a committed relationship and things like that. And I was like, yeah, like, look, you're working on your health physically, and then mentally, you're going to feel a lot better. Everything kind of permeates, and your life slowly becomes better because of that. And it's like, you just got to be willing to put in the change. And I've been constantly talking to her before about workouts, but which is why I love this quote. The students, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I'm not saying I'm the teacher. I'm saying that, like, whoever her teacher was, it appeared, She was like, I'm willing to learn. How can I do this? How can I do that? What can I do to improve, muscular strength in this area and things like that? And that's just the physical body. And then on top of that, you take care of yourself. You reading books, you mentally engaged, you learning things. So yeah, you're giving a lot more time away, no longer really going out and partying as much. She used to party somewhat enough, and now she's a lot better. She's like, I like to stay at home, I like to feel good. And feeling better in your 30s than you do in your 20s, that's one of the biggest compliments that you could give to yourself. And that's just the physical body. And you do have to take care of yourself physically, because your health is the most important thing. Okay. Because some of my clients, all the money in the world cannot get them to where they want. They want to travel. They can't go on planes because the quality of it's too much of a high risk being on a plane for them. And so it's like, they was like, I want to travel, I want to go here, I can't do that. Basically stuck all the money in the world. Okay, so I would really highly suggest you guys, if there's one thing that you're going to be taking care of yourself, please take care of your health. And if there's certain areas of your life, maybe your relationship isn't going too well, there's ways to learn. And so that being said, I'm going to be going over the summary. Number 1 is self-perception. If you feel like you're unworthy, things you do, things you say, and your demeanor will be all in your behavior. It is our job as men to be our best selves. That way we share our best version of ourselves with the people that we want to share it with. A masculine man knows what he wants and goes after what he wants. He feels and what he thinks is congruent. Information, relationship, how you get better, Mitchell. Get back to work. All right, Kim, good seeing you. Feeling of inadequacy. So no amount of money, things you own could cure your feeling of inadequacy. Okay, if anything, it just kind of it covers. Okay, finding the root why he feels this way is the most important thing. Follow your trail of whys. Why am I feeling like this? Why do I feel like I'm not good enough? What happened in my past? These are the type of questions that you want to ask yourself. But not a lot of people want to do that, because you got to dig through your shadows, and it's not a comfortable place. Okay. So, and now once you find out your why, you got to build your skills and build your expertise and have a growth mindset. Number 3, woman wants a man she feels that he deserves her. She wants to know that you're worthy and that you don't treat her any more special because of how you perceive her, because she seeks someone that embodies the qualities she values and that she respects. This means that she wants someone who is worthy of her love, worthy of her affection, and who treats her with kindness and respect. And lastly, knowing your worth. Because this whole problem of knowing your worth, it leads to a lot of stagnation. It leads to people suggesting that you don't have to improve anymore, causing potential stagnation, and may lead to a false sense of this security. And so that being said, that is my live. Yes, I did it. Are there any questions? Okay. I'm gonna stay on for like another minute or two if anyone has any questions. But anyways, personal story. Yeah, I'm not feeling well, if you couldn't hear it already. It's a lot of sawdust. I'm not complaining. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm glad I did it. And this is the type of discipline, regardless of how you feel sometimes, that because I didn't want to do this. Honestly, I was like, man, it would be way better to just lay down. My cat's with me. I'm comfortable. Actually, no. My back's starting to hurt. Laying in bed for too damn long. But I was like, I need to do it. I need to do something. Okay. And this is the type of something. Now, I did not go to the gym because I had like muscle soreness. I had runny nose. I had a headache, like things like that. It didn't do good. Okay. It was not good for me. So it's way better to just stay at home. But to be here. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you guys always coming in and listening. Like I said, I wanted to just cancel, but I was like, no, thank you for going through this live, even though you cannot breathe. It's very informative. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you. And yeah, leave a comment down below if you haven't already. But after the live, I appreciate it if you guys maybe leave something that you feel like resonated with you, things that you feel like you're going to do. All right, Bree. You say that. I haven't gotten a message, but let me know. Bree. Just leave a comment down below after this video. It will help the algorithm a little bit. I can't wait for all this to be over. Give it a few more weeks. My bathroom is ready, almost. I wish I could show you, but it's looking a lot nicer. So I don't have to run in, opening up 6-7 doors in order to take a piss. That is great. Okay. To the people that have bathrooms, you don't know how lucky you are. All right. All right, Bree. Message me. Let me know what's going on. Crystal, thank you for always being here. Kim, I know you're not here anymore. And the other 16-year-old, I think he's gone. That being said, I'll see you next week on the next live. But until then, have a good weekend and take care of yourselves. All right. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's. All right. Peace.